So in Toilet Tower Defense, there is a lot of different Titans and cameramen and whatever that you can get to help you beat this game. And I think I might have just unlocked something insane. Here in the shop, there's an exclusive Injured Titan crate. I decided to open one of them, and I got this guy, the Toxic Upgraded Titan Cameraman. Splash damage, 45,000 damage per second. I'm going to show you guys how insane this one is. Of course, Toilet HQ, easiest map. Let's jump in. We're going to play this on Nightmare, and I just want to get to where I can spawn these guys in, and we'll see how crazy this gets. Super easy setup here. We've got our green laser cameraman and our Santa TV men. Now, this is going to be the super easy setup for most people. If you have these two units, this is like the best way, in my opinion, to start Nightmare, because you get a ton of money from your Santa TV guys, and these green laser cameramen are so good for the money that you spend on them. Alrighty, let's go ahead and spawn this guy in, and look at the AoE that he does. It's not going to show too much just yet, but once we actually start getting these grouped up, look at that. The AoE, in my opinion, works so much better on this one here rather than like 85% of the other troops that I've tried. And his upgrades aren't crazy expensive: 3,000, 5,000, 7,000, 8,000, and then 15,000. So it can be pricey, but it's not bad at all. And here's level 4. We're at 2750 damage every 0.2 seconds. Now that cooldown actually doesn't change. For this specific unit, it always stays at 0.2. So while it might look like he's not doing all that much damage, I promise you it is doing so much. As we get into later waves here, you're going to start seeing when I get 1, 2, 3 of these guys. Here, let me change this. Actually, I don't want to risk that yet. But he would wipe out this entire line of units within like seconds. It's absolutely amazing. Here's level 5 here, so 4,000 damage per second, which really means that we're doing about 20,000 damage per second right now, which is just really, really big. But look, all those units keep coming in. They're just immediately wiped out. The AoE on this is so much bigger and so much better than so many other units, dude. Not to mention when you get 1, 2, 3 of these guys stacked up, like we'll see in the later waves around like 40 to 50, they won't even make it past like right here. It is so strong. I also don't think I've even mentioned yet, this guy also slows down the toilets as well. So not only do my green laser cameramen slow them, but also he does, which is just ridiculous. It's kind of hard to lose at that point. Nightmare becomes pretty easy. Here's going to be, in just a moment here, our first maxed out Toxic Upgraded Titan Cameraman, 15,000, bumps up to 45,000 damage per second. Let's go ahead and get our second one down. Since we have a fully upgraded guy here, right? There is like 0 chance they ever make it this far, so I'm not even worried about it. You also want to know why I'm not worried? This guy has 65 range. He can hit all the way out to here. It literally doesn't even matter. There's no way that they can beat me at this point. So I'm going to drop my second guy right here. I want him to just be able to hit everything as soon as they spawn. I'm going to set this to last and show you guys the AoE real quick. Look at this. It is absolutely ridiculous, dude. I don't think that you can convince me that any other unit is better than this right now. Like, granted, I haven't seen all of them, but it's going to be a tough challenge to see anything do better. This is also my first time hearing the sound of this. It's actually not as bad, but it is like a constant Michael Bay movie, like Transformers. All you hear is explosions right now. And just like this, with just 2 of these guys maxed out, they're barely even making it to the first turn. It is absolutely ridiculous. And these aren't easy units. This is Nightmare. They have 200,000 health, and they're not even making it to the first corner. Barely, if they're lucky. But I do have a trick up my sleeve here, because we also have the DJ Speaker Man. If you don't know what this guy does, let me go ahead and place him down here in just a moment. This guy gives my people bonus damage. So I'm going to go ahead and max him out quickly, which means that this Titan is now doing, hold on, almost 52,000 damage per second. And I'm going to drop another one right here, right next to the DJ Speakerman, so he automatically gets 15% bonus damage. And I'm going to end up setting this guy to last. I think what truly makes these the best is that 0.2 attack speed, because there's other units that do AoE, there's other units that do splash, but I feel like most of them are on like a half-second attack or something like that. To have 0.2, and the splash radius is truly so big, like all of these guys are getting destroyed. Granted, they're pretty clumped up, but the reason I'm going to set this maxed out one to last is because these 2 guys are doing more than enough damage to hold this here. The way that I want to do it is, rather than focusing all my damage in this little cloud, I want to make sure that every single unit that comes out here is immediately getting lowered as well. Not that I have any worry about them ever making it out of here, because they're not. There's literally no way we lose at this point. But just in case, it's just nice to make sure that everything's kind of getting lowered at the same time. And you could see, look at this. They are struggling to make it even 2 studs. It is so good. And then with my fourth unit here, I'm going to go ahead and set him to strongest. I want him to just focus whatever's got the most HP, whether it's in front or not. And this is just making sure that the AoE, the splash damage that these guys do, is as spread out as possible. We want to make sure that everyone's taking damage. We want to make sure that they are not going to be able to clump up. A lot of times, if you have single targets and you set them to only the first unit, there's going to be a slower boss here. So like this guy with 700,000 or this guy with 1,000,000 health just won't even take damage, which is obviously going to be an issue. We want to make sure that they are lowered evenly as they go through. Here we are bringing up on wave 44 of Nightmare, and they still are struggling to get anywhere. Usually when I used to play with other units, they'd make it to about here. And the reason for that is because they were single target damage. So I needed people to be placed like here where they can hit such a large radius that I can, take them all out. With splash damage like this and how much damage they do, it doesn't even matter where I place these guys. We can't lose. I could just go walk away from my computer. I don't need a single upgrade past this. 5 waves takes like an extra minute and a half, 2 minutes here. I don't even need to be at my computer for it. It's truly a waste of my time. And just showing this in its full glory, we have 5 of these guys maxed out. 4 of them are being upgraded by DJ Speakerman. This guy's just a little bit out of range. So 5 of these guys are doing about 52,000 damage per second, about 200 and something thousand together. And it's so nice. I would love to try these guys out on endless mode. I think they'd be insane, but I also know that endless mode does need some higher single target damage as well. So I might need to find some people to play with. And down to the final 2 waves here, and still not even a little bit of struggle in sight. For the first time in like 5 waves, they made it past this corner. That's very impressive, but it just won't really happen again. My guys are coming up. This guy's almost maxed out, so we almost have a 6th maxed out Toxic upgrade in Titan Cameraman. It's just so nice, dude. It makes Nightmare just 10 times easier, honestly. And watch how fast this boss dies. Granted, half of these guys aren't even targeting him, and he starts to cook down. 17 minutes exact to get 1,200 coins and 90 hearts. 17 minutes. That's so fast, or at least I think it is. I don't know how much faster you could do that. So to wrap this up again, this was the Toxic upgraded Titan Cameraman. You have to buy it with gems in the shop. If you do, go ahead and purchase yourself some gems here at the bottom with Robux. Make sure you use code STATUS at checkout if you are buying Robux. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is probably my new favorite unit by far. It was the Titan Clockman, but he just doesn't do the same. It does not seem like he does remotely as much AoE damage as this guy. Peace out, boys. Hope you guys enjoyed.